Hello and welcome. My name is Tom, and I might have just blown out the microphone. And you're sitting at the couples table.
And I'm Heather.
And you're sitting at the couples table.
The Couples Table is a live stream podcast here on this channel. Join us for better or worse.
For richer or poorer.
In sickness and in health.
As long as we both shall live. Yay. Sorry, I got distracted by something at the very last second and then got confused there. But anyway, hello everybody. We're glad you're here.
If you didn't know, Tom and I were doing the pre-show in our community, Just Create More. So if you want to hang out with us for the first 15 minutes before the couples table, you can join us over there. And Andrew had a question about the turntable used for your B-roll.
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about right now. So in my nice organized things right here, I have it right here. It's this. I got it on Amazon. I don't know if you can see the brand.
Sorry.
I don't know if the focus will change. But the brand is COMXIM. If you look up, like on Amazon, you look at like product turntable, they're usually like $80 to $90. But they can hold a lot of weight. They can hold like up to 100 pounds, I think, or more. Has a little remote so you can adjust some stuff with it. And it works great. I love it.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, let's really quick shout out to everybody who's here. Curiosity Network Podcast, what's up? Megan, Bailey, Parker Jennings, Divergent Design Studios, Mr. Camera Junkie, Dash with Ash, Homesick Mac, Robotrix, Josh Scott, Drew, Homesick Mac, Megan.
Homesick Megan.
Homesick Megan. James and Mark, what's up? Aaron. For a second, I thought streaming live from the beach having a foamy apple juice. That's actually a really old picture of us. But
that's a very old
So
picture.
here's the thing, right? Tom's mom loves looking at the thumbnails of the couples table because it's it's just pictures of me and Tom, but she doesn't actually watch the couples table.
Yeah.
But that's why like he's been trying to dig into like
because like making a good thumbnail is very hard, and the couples table is a fun project.
Yeah, we're not trying to like super grow.
It's not the money maker. We'll just put it that way.
It's a fun thing for us. So we're not like, oh my god, we need to have like the crazy ultra.
I'll spend
thumbnail.
5 hours on a thumbnail for my channel. I won't do it for like we don't need to do it for the couples table.
For the couples table, we find a picture.
Yeah,
we should. I don't know. Maybe we can.
We need to rebrand the couples table. We need like a new podcast artwork, and we can have like a default thumbnail.
So Tom and I did a photo shoot like for couples table like for Heather and Tom brand photos. I don't even know, it's 2.5 years ago. Yeah, it's been a while.
We're still milking
we
this.
We haven't done it since.
Yeah. So Andrew Moon is here.
What's up, Andrew Moon?
Good to see you. Aubrey's here. Kristen Progress.
Oh, there's a delay. Here. I definitely see the delay. What's happening?
Wait, is there? Between the pre-show.
Between the pre-show, yeah. So that's what's amazing about the live streaming and Mighty Networks is that there's no delay. There's like, compared to YouTube, there's no delay.
Yeah, it's pretty much awesome. Patrick's here. Nick is here.
Up? Hi.
Lisantier Personal, Filmtopia,
Hello.
Anita, and Bailey.
Awesome.
The couples table is the community maker, though. So it serves a different purpose,
Yeah.
And it's just a fun thing to do every week. So, speaking of fun things, before we jump into what we're going to do this week, there is something I wanted to share, which is funny.
Ready? Are you ready for this?
You've probably seen these before, the windscreens. This is the number one, talking about comments, the number one question I've been getting is, where do you get the colored windscreens
for
the microphones?
Where do you get the colored windscreen?
AnswersReporterStore.com. No, I'm not associated with them in any way. But over the past few months, I've literally probably gotten that question 600 times.
Jeez.
Like a lot of times. I'm not even exaggerating. And I'm guessing that a number of people who ask that question end up buying them from there. So I don't know if like Reporter Store, they're not even based in the United States or we are. I don't know if they've like pieced together like.
I think they've pieced it together.
I think, well, actually, I think they have because here's what I ordered actually. My big TV camera that I got a while ago.
Look at this thing.
It didn't have a windscreen on the microphone because it was old, and so I ordered one from Reporter Store so I could have a blue one on it, and that was fun. But when it came, there was another thing in the box that I didn't order, and it just said like, "Here's an experimental like gift," and it was this.
I love it! Oh my gosh, are you kidding? I love it. Oh my God, it looks so
Not
good.
the microphone, but the windscreen, which is a gold sparkly windscreen.
Okay, Report Store, if you're watching, can we get a silver situation? Just
Or blue
'cause
sparkle?
I think that would match my vibe.
But yeah, I don't know. I
love it,
I think
though.
they're trying to work with like different textures and things. So I was using it this morning
Oh my God, it looks so good.
for a podcast because I was talking about it in a podcast. And the only downside, so if you're watching from Reporter Store, is that some of the gold sparklies fall off and leave
Glitter.
like. But also, I was talking and I inhaled a couple of them.
Because glitter is like
And
a
I started-
teacher's worst nightmare.
I started choking a little bit. So maybe we need a little like revision on that. But it's really funny. And
But it's amazing. I would totally buy that.
yeah, no, it's cool. Like the different textures and stuff. It's totally amazing.
Alto Tech, what's up? Hot Tub Lady Jackie, hi, my friends. I miss you all. We miss you as well. Raphael, what's up? You should set up a button on the stream just to type the exact same response. I know. That's
Copy and paste it. I did order that Elgato pedal thing. That came out.
that'd be fun.
Yeah, so we can switch stuff because I have a. Oh, it's down there.
I can't imagine. I like this. I like being.
Oh, I don't. It drives me crazy. Like constantly reaching and bumping things, and my arms like out of the shot. If I could be here and just like move my feet and talk, and have stuff change. Oh, sign me up. Well, actually, that's why I ordered it because signed me up. Yeah.
How much was it?
$90.
Oh,
Yeah, it's cheaper than a Stream Deck, but it's only 3 buttons. It's not.
it's 3 pedals.
Yeah, it's 3 pedals, left, right, and middle. But anyway, I'm excited for it because I have a thing actually.
We're going back.
Show and tell.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Tom tried to finagle something.
Yeah, I have a MIDI foot switch that I've been trying to do like MIDI triggers with for Ecamm
MIDI.
and streams and stuff, and it's cool, but it's super loud. So even though you can do it with your feet, you're like, yeah, let me change camera angles.
That's annoying.
Yeah, so and this is not for streaming; it's for music. But I was trying to make it work.
Thank you, Ricky. Not the moneymaker. $5 super chat. Thank you. Thank you. Rahul, good to see you. You ordered the pedal before it sold out.
I don't
guess
know.
it sold out.
They let me order it, so it must not have. I honestly was very like haphazard, just like I think I will get that pedal, and I just went to the Elgato website and it was there. I don't know.
Trying to get the pedal, but they're sold out.
I must have bought it like right before it sold out. Then
I don't know what I don't know. Well, you're gonna have it, and I'll test it
I
out.
can't wait because I need it.
Well, because first of all, you play the drums and you're used to foot pedals.
True.
Yeah.
True. I mean, you drive a car though. Anyone who drives a car is used to like talking and doing pedals and stuff. It's just I think
don't
it's just
know.
gonna be so much easier for certain things. Obviously, you don't have the little screens that the Stream Deck has. You don't have all the functionality of a Stream Deck.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I think that I don't think it's an either or. I think the two work together really well. But for me, the main thing I use my Stream Deck for is switching scenes and maybe one action like hiding comments or something. All that I can do with a foot pedal, and then I can just you won't even know. It's gonna be hands free. Who's controlling the camera?
I guess especially if you don't want the Stream Deck, like, you know,
It's not.
within distance of.
Yeah, for me, it's hard to like it either like will get in the way. Or it's out here, and then I'm like, oh, I need to do something. And so every time I try to make a subtle change, you see me reach across the table and push a button.
There's anything wrong with that?
It
Have
just-
you guys ever been like, look at that guy reaching across
No,
the table?
I find it distracting because especially when I'm talking to someone, if I'm doing like a stream or a podcast or something with
okay.
somebody,
I see.
and they're talking and I'm reaching over here, it's distracting.
No, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? See.
It sold out so fast. Look at that. Explanatory Live. What's up, by the way? Good to see
Yay.
you.
Sold out very quick.
LGL bought all of them.
Probably.
I totally believe that. All right. So here's the thing. We were going to talk about what we would do if we were starting a new channel in 2022.
We'll talk about that.
We're going
another
to
time.
table that. Yeah, we're going to talk
Couples
about
table
that. We're going to put that on the couples table and talk about that later. Today, we are going to talk about Tom's comments. So
Comments.
Tom has been, he's been doing weekly uploads for years at this point and has never missed a week. So you could imagine, how many videos do you have on your channel?
300 and something.
300 and something. You're at 85,000 subscribers. I mean, how many comments do you get a day? Average.
I don't know. 50 to 100 maybe?
50 to 100. That's a lot of noise to go through. I would die.
Those are just the ones. I just check YouTube Studio, which is sort of sad because if someone leaves a comment and I reply to it and they reply back, I don't get the notification. So I'd have to like dig in for like comments that I have replied but have not gotten another. And so I don't do that. So usually like if I reply to you and you reply back and I ghost you, it's because I literally can't tell and I just can't go through every video and every nested comment and everything. So
I love this.
It just bothers me. And then you know what I do is then I hit a keyboard key and I mess something up or I knock something over.
Homesick Mac, I feel the same. Jake.
I don't know. As someone who's been trying to build a foot pedal for a year now. Wait, whose birthday?
Jake.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Okay, so today's video especially is Tom. I mentioned this on the pre-show, but Tom did a collaboration with like a super cool person,
Heather. But in addition to that,
what?
We're collaborating right now.
Oh yeah, no. In the video you uploaded today, it was with this guy named
Alan from Soundspeeds.
Yeah. And he very, very, very rarely does collaborations that aren't me, Ben, and Finley. Because
collaborations are hard. It's not that I don't want to do them, and people like ask all the time, and I talk to people all the time, but it's very hard to do them in a like organic, purposeful way. Because a lot of times it'd be like, hey, I have a channel too. We should collab, and it's like, well, what do we do? And a lot of times it sort of ends up being like very forced or whatever. Like Lewis and I did one a while ago about the Stream Deck, and that worked well because it was more like I did a video and he did a video, and the videos we did like complemented each other. So at the end, we could tell people like, hey, if you want to know more about this, check out Lewis's video.
Don't look at it.
Okay. Wow. But in this case, I was making a video about a microphone. It was a professional level microphone. I kept in the video calling it a professional microphone. I was like, I don't want to just say that. Like, Alan from Soundspeeds he's been working as a boom mic operator.
Like in the industry. He's done a professional.
You've seen movies and TV shows that he's worked on. I guarantee he's in like Marvel movies and stuff like that. Stranger Things, like all kinds of stuff. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to send him a message and just confirm what I'm saying in the video. And he was like, yeah, that's true. Do you want to like do a video call or something? And I was like, yeah, sure. And so you don't have to screenshot. You can just push that button. And so that ended up like he ended up showing up to add credibility to the thing, which was cool.
I just think it's going to be easier because there's a lot that's like fine. And I don't want to show the whole thing.
Oh, we could show the whole thing.
Oh.
There's Dash with Ash left a comment. Oh, man.
Okay. Okay.
So here's...
Yeah, why don't you give the overview while I look?
Yeah, so here's the overview. It's just sort of fun to go through, but the thing with my comments are the vast majority of them are super positive and really nice and super supportive. And I try very hard to appreciate that and remember that, and that's why I try to reply to them all. And if they're not positive, I'm totally okay with critical comments. Like, you don't have to just be like stroking an ego the whole time. I'm totally okay with somebody, and people do that all the time. They'll say like, hey, this was a great video, but I just wanted to like elaborate on some points you brought up. You said blank and really blah, 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 blah. Like, there's ways to do that. And those are awesome. I usually reply like, thank you for adding insight and info to this. Like, this is really cool. If it's super relevant, I'll pin that just to make sure that like people get additional information or a separate viewpoint or whatever. Like, that's completely fine. It's just how you go about doing that. And so every once in a while, there's the people who show up who do, I haven't checked like held for review comments.
Oh, are they bad in there?
I don't even know if there's anything in there. Oh, there's a lot in there. But a lot of times it's just like, I don't know. It's weird stuff. The thing today, and Doc Rock, if you're here or if you listen to this or whatever, you'll relate to this. I'm going to do a whole podcast episode about this. The thing with today's video is I talk about a microphone and I say, hey, this is like basically the best boom mic. And if you're somebody who's been making, it's a boom mic that they use in TV shows and movies. But if you're a YouTube person or a streamer and you've been spending years trying to get a mic out of the frame that sounds good, and you've been buying all these different shotgun microphones and all these things and it's not working for you, this is probably worth checking out. It's a $1,200 microphone. That's not cheap, but it's also like YouTube is a place where people will spend thousands of dollars on a camera or a lens or a microphone. Like, it's not cheap, but it's also sometimes worth the investment, you know, especially if it's something that you're doing seriously and it's really going to help your workflow. And so I wasn't really talking about the price. I was talking about the functionality. And so many replies I've gotten back have been about like, oh, it must be nice to have this money. Oh, I'm not going to spend that much money. Oh, you think this is like, that's way too much for just a YouTube video. I had to go off on somebody about like overkill for YouTube. And I was like, YouTube.
I need to find, you need to find those because I can't find them.
They're probably on the video itself. But I was like, YouTube pays my mortgage. Like, it's worth the investment. But
yeah, but see, yeah.
I went into a whole thing about like YouTube channels bring in more eyeballs and revenue than network television shows. Like, to, you know, say something is just YouTube is not fair. Have you found some stuff?
Yeah, I found 2, and then I'll let you take over.
I want to show you one that is really funny to me. I haven't, some of them. So I used to reply to every single comment, and that was important to me. And I reply to 98% of comments now. If something's really bad, I just delete it or ban the person. If something's just annoying, but it's not bad, I just ignore it. And sometimes I'll just downvote the comment and leave it there and let other people in the comment section handle that. I wish I could find the one. It's on this one. I need to just find it's on this boom arm video. Here it is. I will show everybody here.
Wait. You're oh.
What's it?
You got the overlay, but it's okay.
Oh, I don't care. This is on my Rode boom arm video. This is a very helpful comment. Rode, because I wrote Rode, R-O-E-D, and they wrote the O with the slash through it. Get out! Like, what are you doing? Like, you're not helping. You're not helping. You're not helping. Go away. You're not helping. Sorry, that's like really annoying. I was gonna have a whole thing on like, congratulations, like you win today's award for least useful comment I have received.
I know, but like,
but I don't know. Left it because who cares? But it's just like, and another thing that drives me crazy. Sorry, is sometimes you mention something in a video and people will just like. It's almost like they have their impulse, they leave the comment, and then it's before the part of the video. And so it's like really annoying when you get a boatload of comments about something you address.
Like you haven't watched the full video where I explain this.
Or it's something where like, I mentioned this in the video, I put a link in the description, and I pinned a comment about it, and somebody's still going to be like, but what about blah, blah, blah? And it's like, did you not like pay attention to anything? Because it's in so many places. I know I'm just ranting. I don't mean to rant. But it's so annoying. It's like when I was teaching and we'd be like, 20 minutes into a lesson and someone's like, what page are we on?
Well, here's the thing. The reason why I thought this was a good topic to talk about on the couples table is because, like, I think that an average human being is not built to take in this much feedback. Like, I don't think that we're not trained to do this. And so to be able to navigate that is part of the journey, right? Like, especially if you want to do this full time, you have to know, especially depending on the niche that you're in. I would say that like female creators have it worse.
Oh my God, infinitely. I'll take any of these any day of the week.
Yeah, but just because Tom's in tech talking about cameras doesn't mean that like all the comments are, positive. And which is bizarre because like Tom is just so obviously like you're so transparent with everything that it just annoys me that anyone would like I don't know, like, look down upon your content, especially because I know how much time... You're not trying to hide anything. Like, you're not trying to appear that you are the expert or anything. Like, it's all, I don't know. There's a lot of things that annoy me. But I want people to know that, like, this is how he... These are how these comments genuinely affect him.
It's frustrating.
And I think I think that should be talked about. Like, I think it's dehumanizing for people to be like, just ignore it. That's like... don't have feelings. Don't react to the world
That's telling someone
like,
with anxiety or depression that it's all in their head.
Yeah, and I don't think that's the answer, but also, you know, what I wish, you know, in a perfect world, what I wish would happen is that I think that creators are more hesitant to leave these types of comments because they know what it's like to be on the other side, right? And I wish that people would, without having to be a creator themselves, would understand that, like, hey, you know, you're talking to a person. Like, would you say this to that person to their face if you were having a conversation with them? Which I would say most of the time is like, of course you wouldn't, and you'd probably get along, and you'd probably agree and have an awesome conversation, you know? And it's just, I know that's not going to happen because the internet is the internet. So that's why it's up to the creator to be able to be like, how do you navigate this like, how do you go through like with life getting 50 to 100 comments a day without it, you know, one, feeding your ego, and then two, derailing your entire day, because it can go both ways.
I mean, and people with larger channels, like Nick is here in the comments. Nick can get 50 to 100,000 views on a video in 1 or 2 days. I'm going to go ahead and guess Nick gets 500 comments a day. I mean, at a certain point, you probably just have to turn it off, and you're like, I just can't even check them because it's not even.
Because you just can't.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
But you know.
But here, let me show one.
There's a few I wanted to set. Oh, well, you can show me one.
Let me set the tone because you haven't seen these. Okay, so he's eager.
Don't do these ones. I put those there.
So let's start with a good.
Okay. Most of them are good.
Most of them are good. Okay, so here we go.
Most people are nice. So glad to see you made this video. There's so much misinfo in YouTube filmmaking world about mics. Everyone immediately uses shotgun mics for indoor talking head / dialogue when these pencil type mics can be better suited. I own the MKH50 and use it for professional indoor interviews, and it's amazing, though it can sometimes be a little harsh on certain voices that have a lot of sibilance in their S sounds. Anyways, great info.
So this is like, and it's not like, okay, you know, you have to necessarily agree with Tom for it to be a positive comment, but the fact that you're like adding to the conversation based on your experience, like I have found this, you kicked off a conversation. That's the whole point of a YouTube video, is like, let's talk about this.
They even bring up points where it's like, oh, this is where that actually might not work that well.
Yeah. Great.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Love it.
I don't think you've seen this yet.
I guess, oh, wait, I can't see it. I guess you don't understand.
There it is.
Oh, Michael.
We're starting.
I can't read it, though.
I did, there we go.
I can't see it. It needs to be up.
Oh.
I guess you don't understand why there are holes on the sides and what they're used for. Also, how supercardioid, hypercardioid should be used indoors and outdoors. Seriously, you should have learned it first before making a video, since the whole thing you talk here is just not correct. By the way, shotgun and boom are different mics, too, with very different purposes and capabilities. Michael, you know what? I hope you have a great day, buddy.
So, does this comment bother you, Tom? How do you feel about
I feel this is a guy who's not made any... I'm going to go ahead and guess probably doesn't make a lot of YouTube videos. So if he does, I'm going to go ahead and guess they're not very successful.
Can you process, like, what about this comment bothers you? Is it because he's telling you that you don't know what you're talking about? Like, what...
Yeah, it's the... Well, okay. So in the video, for example...
And how would you rather have him say the comment?
Okay.
Like,
I've started to do a thing where when I talk about testing things in videos, I literally put on a lab coat and glasses and like set up things specifically to make it goofy. Because clearly I'm not trying to be... I'm not the person like...
You're not Gerald Undone.
I'm not Gerald Undone. If you go to Sennheiser's YouTube page or whatever...
They do a whole...
They probably show you where they put the mic in an anoechic whatever, you know, the soundproof chamber and how everything works. My point of view and everything is, hey, I'm one person who makes a lot of videos and I want them to look and sound as good as possible while still being one person that makes them. So I'm going to talk about how to use things like this.
In a one-person independent creator setup. Like, you're not making movies. I'm
not making movies. I'm not on a soundstage. I don't have a crew. So it's like, hey, if you're somebody kind of like me and you've been making videos and you want good audio, you might have a question about this microphone. Let's see what it sounds like in a setup like that. That's the approach that I very openly take with everything. And this, first of all, he's wrong, because the thing I explain in the video is correct. I talk about air and slot on the sides of microphones, sound travels in through those. I didn't go into an in-depth discussion of the hows and whys behind it, because that's not what the video was for. But he's straight up just wrong, because address that in the video.
He seems to think that you're wrong.
Also, how supercardioid and hypercardioid should be used indoors and outdoors. Seriously, you should have learned. That's all, like, it makes no sense, because you're telling me that if I were going to go film something outdoors in our relatively quiet backyard, I would use the same microphone as if I were filming something in a parking lot next to a freeway? No. You're telling me that if I want to film something where I'm really isolating dialogue from someone versus getting the ambient noise in the environment, I would use, like, no, you're making a generalized statement that is friggin' wrong. You get out of my channel. By the way, shotgun and boom are different mics. Yeah. The thing there with that's what tells me, like, you're not a YouTube person, because literally the thumbnail, which I admit, like, fine, you can fault me with this. The thumbnail is a picture of the microphone that says best boom mic. That's to get people to click on the video.
Yeah.
It's a picture of a microphone. It says best boom mic. You know why? I don't care that that's not the correct term, because what I know is most people in my realm, when they're talking about putting a microphone out of the shot, they call it a boom mic.
Right. It's not, okay, I see the
It's
issue.
like not all tissues are Kleenex, but if you say, hey, hand me a Kleenex, you know what I'm talking about. And then a boom mic's not a brand name, but it's like, when most people are saying, hey, I want a microphone that's like on a thing out of the frame doing that.
Or across the pond, they talk about hoovering the bedroom.
Exactly. Yeah. Boom mic is just a term that people are going to look through. And clearly it worked because the video is connecting with people. So that is solving a problem for people. I don't care that the title and the thumbnail aren't super accurate, because people will watch the video
and they'll get the info.
And that's where the accurate information is.
It's like where you have to, like, make the veggies look good.
A spoonful of sugar helps medicine go down. If I titled the video Sennheiser MKH50,
why would anyone click on it, especially if you don't know what it is?
No one's going to watch that.
I wouldn't click on it.
Yeah, but if I title it Best Boom Mic, someone's going to click on it.
I know what that is. I think
yes.
I have a picture of, like, what a boom mic is, and I would click on it.
And that's where I'm like, clearly, like, you're just not paying attention to the world of YouTube or whatever. And you can have your own opinion about that. You can say, like, no, it should be called Sennheiser MKH50 review, and it should be very straightforward and whatever. Like, you can run your own YouTube channel that way, but nobody's going to watch your video.
Okay, so what I think bothers you about this video is that I don't know how to say it. I think what's annoying is, like, for someone to come on your channel and just be like, this video
this video's like wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. It's like, dude, I spent so much time working on this video. I never claimed to be a professional. Like,
right. So, like, what would you rather have him say?
Well, here's a good example. Why do we have double of us in here? That was weird. Here's a good example. So here's another comment that I picked up earlier where somebody is, I talk about reflections in the video, meaning audio. Like, I sit at a desk, and so it's kind of a disadvantage, a desk advantage, because as I'm talking, the audio is hitting off the desk, and you're picking up weird sounds because of the desk. And a solution to that would be to get rid of the desk, but it doesn't work because I use it in the videos, so I have to work around that. This person says, consider the dominant room effect in your sitting at a table talking head scenes is what acousticians and engineers call first reflection. Beyond distance and aim of the mic, it will, dominate the timbre of your environment. For your case, the first reflection will come from your tabletop. Change that acoustic surface, and it will strongly affect the capture sound of your voice. Without the table, it might be the ceiling, floor, back wall. First reflections, he kind of goes on. He says, positioning a mic, think first of distance, then aim, then a first reflect. He's adding info. He's taking a point I made where I was like, I briefly mentioned reflections, and he's like, hey, additional info.
Right. And that is super helpful.
Yeah, that's a comment where, like, literally, if I didn't already have a pinned comment that I needed for the video, I would pin something like that where it's like, someone's going to get more information from this.
Yeah.
And the other guy could have done that too by just saying, like, I would say no, though, because in the video, I never specifically say ever that there's one objectively best microphone you should get, because there's not. And there never will be. There's too many variables. I'm saying for this use case, this is really good. I spent years trying to find a solution. This solved the problem for me. And now I want to share that with you, because if I had seen this video 3 years ago, I would have saved myself a lot of trouble. That's the purpose of the video.
Yeah.
I felt good, actually.
Yeah, cathartic. You look like you.
Sorry, I didn't realize how much that's been.
Well, you have another one. Do you want to show that one? I'll go through these comments when you go through that one.
Oh, here's another one. This is an example of how to do something poorly. Because in the video, when Alan shows up, he talks about like, actually, it might even be best to spend most of your money on treating your room rather than a microphone. And he's using a $50 microphone, and he sounds amazing. And so this guy said, if room treatment is most important, then why not give us a video about that? I have half my room covered in foam, and I still get echo even with a pencil mic. Very, very common problem. Or are you getting rid of echo in post? Oh, those two sentences are fine with me. Like, I have a room full of foam, I'm still getting echo. Are you doing post-processing to get rid of sounds? I think those are really valid questions to ask. That would be a better video, actually. And then I replied, like, I've got a video about that. I made a video all about sound treatment, the different soundproofing and sound treatment, and the cheesy foam panels versus professional foam. Like, I have a whole video about that. I've also talked about it in every video I've made about a setup thing. And I don't really mind the points of, like, I don't expect him to search my whole channel, but to say like, hey, you mentioned that sound treatment is really important. Do you have a video on that? Have you thought about making a video on that? That would be a better video, actually. Because this isn't a video about sound treatment. This is a video about a microphone. It wouldn't be a better video because then it would be about the wrong thing. Anyway, show him the door.
Show him the door.
Sorry. Uh-oh, he's calling. He heard the things I said.
Okay, really quick, I guess I'm trying to go through the comments here. Explanatory live. Same here. One comment on mine said, get to the point. The video is 1 minute long.
Exactly. It
took him more time to leave the comment.
Yeah, like...
Sometimes I write the passive-aggressive responses I would like to say on a notes document just to get it out, and then I usually delete it.
Yeah, I don't respond a lot. Usually I'll just delete it or ignore it or downvote it and then let other people deal with it. But every once in a while... What I have found, especially if the same thing keeps popping up over and over again, I like to respond once, and then that's like my statement on this topic. And that's just so other people can see it. And then the other thing that I try to avoid is like, it really does bother me when people say like, you're just saying this is good because they sent it to you or you got it for free or clearly they're paying you or whatever. That bothers me for reasons that you all know. But I also worry, like, if I just delete all those comments, then that almost looks shady because then people are like, well, every time I say that, like, he is being paid, he deletes the comment. So it's like, it looks like he really is. Somebody sent me a comment the other day that was like, I think it was on the Rode NT1 microphone video, which Rode sent me a microphone didn't even know they were sending me. I didn't have to make a video about it, but I liked it and I made a video about it. And that's what I said in the video. And the person said, if you wanted to actually have credibility, you would have sent the microphone back or you would have paid for it in full. And I was like, okay, they don't want the microphone back. Like, they don't want it because it's more work for them to have to, like, get it back and deal with it. So they don't want it. It's also going to cost me a bunch of money to ship it to Australia. And also, like, if you're telling me that getting a $300 microphone for free that I didn't ask for hurts my credibility, like, what about the hundreds of videos on this channel and the ethics statement and the, like, above and beyond of, like, being open and transparent with things? Like, none of that builds credibility. I know you just see the channel, you leave a comment, you don't look at the whole thing, but maybe you should look at the whole thing, I don't know.
Okay, these are not in order.
Okay.
Because for some reason they're not in order. Let's see.
Got wound up there.
I know, you were going for it. I'm curious, has your watch time increased as your channel has grown? I'm curious if people pay more attention as they get to know you more versus people who don't watch all the video.
Actually, I don't know.
Silly questions.
I don't know. I don't pay attention. I think it's honestly like every month when I kind of go through my analytics, watch time stays pretty much the same. Or average view duration stays pretty much the same.
If there's something you do not like, it's so much easier to move on than to say something mean to someone that has no value.
Yes.
But some people just thrive on making people feel bad.
And again, offering a counter opinion or a different viewpoint or adding information are all great things. Like,
well, this is just like common courtesy, human being 101.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I don't. It's like.
I mean,
you want to talk about why I took a social media break? This is like part of the reason, which is so annoying because you know who's been like the biggest digital media advocate of all? Literally, like we are married because of the internet and all these things, but I just hate how like, why do people default to like It's just so much easier to unsubscribe, unfollow, move on to the next video. Like, this person doesn't know what you're talking about, then why are you spending time? Like,
if you're a pro, why are you watching an intro level video anyway? Like, this isn't for you. Are you going to like a first grade classroom video and being like, these math problems are too easy? Like, those kids don't know it yet.
Chris this is what I said. Michael's comment is edited. I'm now really curious as to what he said before his edit.
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure it was even more brilliant. Which is, you know what, it actually kind of sucks. Because I bet, like Heather was saying,
you guys would hit it off and be totally like friends.
If I was at B&H Photo and Michael was there, he was like, you're the dude from the YouTube thing. And I was like,
Just Create More. He'd be great.
Yeah.
Like,
well, even Alan from Sound Speeds, who's in my video today, he has sent me things where he's like, there's points of the video where I'm cheering, and there's points where I'm screaming at my screen about something, and that's fine. Like, I don't care if you can disagree, you can correct me if I'm wrong about something. It's all fine. It's just how you do it. And the same goes with just how you would deal with anyone in daily life. Like, yeah, if you supervise someone or you oversee someone at an office and they turn in like paperwork or whatever that's done wrong, you don't say like, yo, you idiot, you fill out this form wrong. What's wrong with you? Like, you're so stupid. You should have read this before you turn it into me. You'd say like, oh, hey, like I saw that you didn't sign page 6 here. Can you get your signature on that?
Done.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not easy to ignore those types of comments, but it's the only thing that actually works. Responding just stokes the fire. Nick says, it's admirable you read all the comments, but I do not have the patience. I check them for 20 minutes when a video goes live, and I never check them again.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, because I said most of them are positive, and I'm sure it's the case for most people, and it's like, if someone is spending the time to share a thought, ask a question. Like, another one I got this morning was on a workflow video I did about the Rodecaster Pro, where the guy was like, thank you so much for this video. It really helped me. I've been overwhelmed with starting my podcast, and this shows me that it's possible to do it while still having like a full-time job and stuff. I really want to reply to that and be like, I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you for the message.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Also, like, yeah, the Rodecaster's great, but, you know, you can get started with what you have. Like, don't let the gear stop you from getting started, but it definitely helps. Like, I would like to, if somebody's on the cusp of, like, starting their thing, I would like to, you know, encourage them and give them the push. And if someone takes the time to write something really nice and I can read it and respond to it, I like to. But, yeah, there are times where it's like, I just can't. And, yeah.
We recently released a video. I eat only eggs for 3 days. This is what happened. The comment that bothered me was when someone said, you should have added vegetables to your omelet.
Yeah. Well, even today I had things, because in today's video I compare 3 microphones, and I've had multiple people say like, I can't hear a difference between any of the mics. They all sound the same on my phone. Yeah, they do. Because your phone has bad speakers. They're all going to sound the same. Like, put on a good pair of headphones. You're gonna, like,
But the video's not for you.
Yeah.
Like, the video's not for you.
Yeah, then...
Because that's what I would say. I mean,
it's true. And
I don't care about mics. I don't care.
But that's...
But I'm not... I would never go to someone's freaking channel about mics and be like, this is dumb because I don't like it. Like...
Yeah.
You do you.
Yeah.
It's just weird. I don't know.
If the person's not trying... I get it. If I were saying, hey... I am the mic professional, and I'm going to change my name from Tom to Mike because I'm so good at mics. And I'm going to tell you everything you need to know, and what I say is absolutely correct, and if you're not doing this, then you're doing your audio wrong. That's a point where it might be, where maybe someone should say, like, hey, like, actually, you're giving, like, bad information to people, and I don't, like, you wouldn't want people to think that that's the case. But never once have I ever said the way I do things is the way to do things. I'm sharing my experience and offering some input.
Dave says, hurt people try to hurt people. I've never heard of happy, successful individuals attacking someone who's doing great. Yeah. And it's the same thing where I truly believe that if you've been on the creator side, you know what it's like. So
I've never gotten this kind of thing from someone who
has
it
a channel
on their own.
themselves. Yeah.
Like, literally never.
Yeah. I looked up the mic right after I watched your video. Otherwise, I would have never heard of it. So thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
There's been several of those comments.
It's a cool thing. That's why I made the video, because I hadn't heard of it either. And I was like, what the heck is this? Oh, okay. Actually, funny enough, I found out about this microphone from a negative comment. I just realized this. It was on Epos Vox's YouTube channel, The Stream Professor. He's like 300,000 subscribers, and he did a video about microphones a few months ago, and there was a comment where a dude was like, I don't know why all you YouTubers want to put like a big microphone in front of your face. It's super ugly. If you really want to like get good audio, you need to be using an MKH50 or something else. Yeah, on his channel, which he's like really experienced in what he does. But it was the whole thing about like, oh, you guys are dumb because you have big microphones in front of your face. Why do you do that? You should use this one. And I was like, and they had a whole reply thread. I was like, this guy sucks. But I was like, wait, what's he talking about this microphone here? And that's when I started looking it up. And I was like, oh, actually, there's something to that. And then I reached out to Sennheiser.
Let's see. Hot Tub Lady says, I put my comments aside until a certain point in my day. However, I usually only get 10 or so a day. Most are good, but once in a while, there's the one comment that just requires you to be done for the day. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's like I'm letting a bunch of steam out right now, but it's not a big deal. The vast majority of them are positive. I think it's like we said, much easier for guys than girls. I once in a while get comments about my appearance, but she'll get comments like, here's a video on how to make a YouTube watermark, and then it's like 18 comments about appearance. I don't know. So dumb. And it's always from guys, which is like
of course it is.
Strange. I don't know. Whatever. Meal says if you can put actually before the comment and it still makes sense and it's probably not useful.
Yeah, unless it's like, actually, I had no idea about this. Thanks for the good info.
Drew says, I'm surprised at how many people don't understand the difference between feedback and opinionated comment.
Yeah, or just adding to a dialogue. Like, yeah. Again.
You got to filter between armchair quarterbacking and a thoughtful comment regardless if it agrees with you.
Yeah, and that's what, because sometimes there's ones that rile me up or it makes me feel like, but then it's like, if I put my pride aside.
I have to say, as the person who lives with you, like, you handle it so well. Maybe once every other day, you'll be like, I just got this comment.
Yeah, it's usually just entertainment value. Like, I just got this where the person's road, not road. And I'll do something like that, but it's not. It's usually like almost for the entertainment value of like, I can't believe this just happened. I'm not like stomping around or feeling upset.
When people tell you to should, they're really shoulding all over themselves.
It's a real should storm.
It's interesting that when you click on a username of someone that leaves something negative, chances are the history of all their comments are negative too.
Yeah, and chances are they have a blank channel. Probably a blank profile.
I've worked with real life rage commenters. It's so much worse in real life.
Oh.
That sucks.
Yeah, I don't even want to know that situation.
Hi, Annika. Good to see you.
I saw Aaron's comment. I'm buying the Video Mic Go 2.
The Video Mic Go 2, because it's the one I can afford now. But for me, it's helpful to know about the MKH50 existence as a future investment.
Yeah.
But this is a great mic.
The Go 2 is really nice.
You know what? I'm not the mic expert.
I have a video coming out in a few weeks about it. It's super cool, and it's a great USB mic. So what I've actually been doing with the Go 2, it's been my go-to for just keeping in a drawer right here. And when I'm editing a video and I realize I forgot some info or something, or I need to add in a quick voiceover, I just plug this in with USB real quick and like do a quick voiceover. Even if I'm mixing it with the super expensive Sennheiser, obviously it doesn't sound exactly the same, but it's fine.
I don't comment on the sound of microphones for precisely that reason. I watch most YouTube videos on my laptop or phone, not headphones, unless I know it's comparison.
Well, for something like this too, okay, so I'm using an industry standard piece of equipment that is expensive to, the average person. A lot of the people who have experience with that are people who have worked with it professionally. And so they're gonna, it's like, I don't know, here's a tool you use every day for your professional life, and now you see someone who you think like doesn't know how to use it correctly, and you feel like, oh, I need to. But that's where like you can use your knowledge and experience to help people, not talk down to them.
Right. Hey, Coffee Talk and Tech.
Coffee Talk Tech.
And Christmas Clatter's here. Caleb has to go.
That's McCool, Caleb.
That's fine. Have you ever had comments of people announcing they're unsubscribing and why? I had someone they say they left because they didn't like how I chew, and they came back 6 months later to say I improved.
Yeah, it's like, just leave. I don't need to know. I like it when people tell you why they subscribed. Like,
well,
that's nice.
I feel like if you have to announce your exit, that says so much more about you than it does about the person. Yeah. Because like, you obviously want the final say. Like you obviously, you know what I mean? Like if you honestly didn't care, you would just go.
Yeah,
like,
I have unsubscribed from channels too. I've never told anybody.
All the freaking time, like all the time.
Yeah, I don't tell them because I
don't even think to. It doesn't even occur to me. I just boom, done. I have moved on.
As long as what I would say is like, if my monthly net subscriber thing goes up, I don't.
Like, here's an example.
If it were going down, 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 then I would probably want to go, hey, why is everybody leaving? Like, what happened? I probably need to know about this.
Right.
But if overall it's going up, then people leaving, it's just not for them, and that's okay. It's like, I'm not going to make you happy.
Here's a channel. Here's an example of a channel that, like, was a big deal that I don't think I unsubscribed. I just stopped watching. Actually, maybe I have unsubscribed. I don't remember. But it still pops up because I used to watch all the time, which is Philip DeFranco.
Oh, yeah.
I used to love Philip DeFranco. I used to talk about him all the time. I religiously watched that show. And then he made a video of... I don't even know how to explain this. Basically, he said an opinion that I did not agree with, and it kind of tainted, like, the whole show for me. And I just found myself, like, not having the same urge to watch his content, and I just, like, stopped watching it. I would never be like, I completely disagree with this. You shouldn't have said this. Like, I tell that to Tom, but I don't tell it to him because regardless of what I think about what he has to say, I still appreciate and respect the research and, you know, the planning and the passion behind you putting yourself out there. And well, I mean, what would the world be like if none of us had a voice? Like, that's the whole point. You know,
stuff changes. Like, I'll use Peter McKinnon as an example.
Oh, yeah.
He's early on YouTube.
Oh, my gosh. Like, this guy would not stop talking about Peter McKinnon.
Yeah.
Like, when we first met, and I don't think I've ever watched a Peter McKinnon video. It just never, I don't know.
Yeah. Because Peter started his channel 4 months before I started mine. And so it was like, wow, like, this person's, like, making stuff look really, and it was like every day, did you see the new Peter McKinnon video? It was really good, yeah. And I learned so much, and I got so much out of it. And then after a couple years, I was like, I found myself not liking the videos as much, because what I felt, which is completely valid, is he was sort of done with, like, the stuff that drew me to the channel and had moved on to more, like, almost like lifestyle videos and stuff. And I was like, oh, this just isn't for me anymore. Like, I really got a lot of value out of this, but I haven't watched, like, the last 10 videos that have popped up in my feed, so maybe I'm just sort of done. But
yeah,
maybe like 8 or 9 months after that, a video popped up in my recommendation from him.
Loved it.
And I clicked it and I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I started to notice that it seemed like he had hit a point where with his videos, he was, like, really having fun with them. And, like, I could just sort of feel that, like, he was excited to be making them. He was really just having fun making them. And they were, like, really cool. And I could see how he was, like, challenging himself. Like, he had gotten to a point, I think, got comfortable, and now was, like, really challenging himself to do things differently. And I was like, this is really interesting. Resubscribe, because now I want to follow this journey more again. So it's like, it's not always going to be
right, because people freaking change.
Yeah.
Like, in real life, people come and go.
Yeah.
Like, it's just,
he didn't do anything wrong.
Right. And for someone to be like, oh, I like the old Peter McKinnon stuff better. You were not allowing people to, like, change.
Grow.
Yeah.
So
is this person supposed to be, like, dance monkey for you for eternity?
Yeah, I've talked about this before, I call it the band dilemma, because bands face this a lot. If a band has 1 or 2 successful albums, I don't know if it's the same now that everything's, like, streaming and singles, but back in the day when it'd be, like, CDs and albums and stuff, if a band had a couple of successful albums and then they made another one, if they made one that fit in very well with their previous ones, people would say, like, oh, they just make the same album over and over again. And then if the band tried something new and went in a different direction, they sold out. I like their old stuff. They've changed. And it's like, so the band it's literally like a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. If they don't change, people are going to tell them they never change. If they do change, people are going to say that it shouldn't have changed. And so they just have to do what you gotta do.
What you gotta do.
Yeah.
You gotta do for you. Like, you can't, like, what breaks my heart, the worst part of this whole thing, right, is being in a position where we educate and empower people to utilize digital media to achieve meaningful goals, to put themselves out there, to create content. It is so many people never make that leap. And I think we really have taken for granted how much of a leap that is.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if I had never done that, none of this moment would not exist, right? Like, a lot of you wouldn't be here if you also weren't creating on YouTube. And the fact that someone's hate comment or stupid comment could make it so that someone who was brave enough, took a chance, made that leap, never creates a video again, kills me. Like that just, it just makes me so sad. And of course, that person who left that comment
will never even think about it or know about it.
Will never even know like how they silenced that other person, you know? And I just hate that because luckily Tom and I are lucky. You know, and I think the world has evolved where there's more creator resources and there's more, you know, people are talking about this. So there is support. The platforms understand that, you know, I mean, the conversation around like creator mental health, it's not just like creators are here living this lavish lifestyle and who cares about, you know, they're completely immune to emotions and comments and all that. Now there's more conversation about that, but you know, it's still like, it just, if you were not who you were, someone else could have read Michael's comment and been like, I'm never making another video again. And that sucks.
Yeah, or I'm going to take my video down because somebody...
Yes. Like, how horrible. How awful, you know?
Yeah. If there's a critical error that's different, like, I'm not saying never admit you're wrong or something, but, like, there isn't with this video. You know how many times I've watched this video? Aside from planning it, making it, recording it, editing it, watching it, probably the finished version, probably 8 to 10 times. Like,
the people don't understand like what goes into every single word that makes it into the video is intentionally there for a reason.
Yes, and like that's not to say it's a piece of perfection, but it means like I'm comfortable putting it out there with my name behind it. What I was looking up was something Heather showed me a while ago was when you get the really good comments, like screenshotting them or saving them, because it's so easy to just like, here's a good comment, cool, thanks, and then you forget about it. But to really think when somebody says like, I appreciate this, I love the way you explain things, you know, you've helped me to do blah, 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 you made this really clear, like really taking the time to remember that is very important. And that's where it's like, and that's,
get a folder,
and that's
make a folder for yourself.
That's most of the interaction. I think probably even for most of us here.
Yeah.
Because none of us here are doing anything crazy or controversial.
We're all positive, creating positive content.
So I think most of us the majority of our feedback is positive, whether how much or little of it there is. And I think that's just, it's very important to remember that. We're talking about this today and letting it out, but it's not something that weighs on me.
Yeah.
But it is frustrating when I know here's a batch of comments. I'm sure most of them are going to be great, and I want to take the time to find the people who have given me their time to watch my video and leave something thoughtful on it. I kind of want to like reply to that. But to do that, I also sometimes have to sift through these turds that are just like stinking it up. And those don't even count the ones that just get deleted or ignored or like they're just totally insulting or whatever.
The most ridiculous comment I've had, and it was recent, was to throw away my new Sony mic when the other comments on the video said how good it sounded. I just laughed out loud.
That's one of my favorite things that happens is you make a video. So like, you know, you'll make a video with your new Sony mic and there will be one comment that's like, this mic sounds amazing. And right below that, this mic sounds like garbage. You should throw it away. And you're like, those two people watch the same video and have exactly opposite opinions.
This is why you can't please everyone, and you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do you.
You know what I saw recently? I saw this yesterday, actually. I don't know how this works or if it's things YouTube's testing, but I saw it. I think it was Nick Niman's channel. Somebody posted a screenshot. They went to leave a comment, and before they could leave a comment, a thing popped up in the comment section that said like, hey, welcome to this channel. Before you leave a comment, please remember. And then he could put like his 3 rules of like, do this, do that, do that. And then click OK and leave a comment. It must be. I think they're probably rolling it out to different channels where before people dive into the comment section, not that it's going to help the person who's hell-bent on like leaving a jerky comment. It might even like instigate them more, but it at least lets you kind of set the tone and the expectations in your comment section a little bit, which is actually kind of cool. So we'll see.
I had a coworker tell me in person that they unsubscribed because my video quality sucked. I laughed and said, well, thank goodness I don't care, considering I'm literally only 4 months into YouTube.
I'm going to go ahead and guess that no matter what your video, even if you were filming with a Motorola Razr from 2006, your video quality was probably better than their video quality, which was non-existent. So put that in their pipe and smoke it.
What? Harris Heller did a short once on someone unsubscribing about how to announce it to his face. Just, wow.
I like Harris.
Let's see.
No, Matt's a good example, actually. It serves to me because I like to argue.
But
Matt,
on topic, when I ran companies early on, a boss gave me good advice. Praise in public, criticize in private.
Yeah, I think Matt's a good example of someone who will add information or add to a dialogue.
Have a conversation. This is not like don't come here and make the hill that you're gonna die on. Do that on your own channel. You know,
use your knowledge and your experience to help people. Like, explain something, add some details, whatever. Like, yeah.
I don't know. That's how Mark felt about Nelly Furtado when she went from I'm like a bird to promiscuous girl. I heard promiscuous girl in the gym this morning, and I was like, yeah. I don't know why I think of you guys when I hear this song.
Wow.
Side note. Let's see. Do you know that song?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I was also alive when you were alive.
I know, but we listen to completely different music.
But Nelly Furtado was like, at least like when she hit the scene, was still in like MTV days, and when
you have to read this.
More people were listening to the same thing at the same time. What am I reading? I met a block of cement once. I'm sorry to say I took him for granted. That comment rocks.
I used to get comments saying that my German accent sucks. Fun fact, all of them were from people from Germany. I use them as motivation to improve my English and just get better every day.
I mean, you're delivering videos in a non-native language. Like, you win just for doing that. But here's something cool.
That just annoys the hell out of me, man. I'm annoyed for you, Leo. You know what? Honestly, like, I do not handle these well. I don't think. I get really annoyed. I just get so annoyed. Ugh.
Well, here's something that's cool that reminds me of that I really like. So we'll talk about the positive magic of the internet. I don't know if it's the same person or not, but somebody's been leaving comments in Chinese on my videos recently.
Oh, did you copy it to Google Translate? That's cute.
So you copy it into Google Translate, you see what they say, which is like, great video, thanks so much. And then I write back, and I hope that it's fairly accurate, and I reply, and like, I'm sure that like the Google translation of like English to Chinese is or to simplified Chinese is maybe not perfectly accurate, but I'm sure they get the gist of it, just like I can get the gist of what they said. And I think that is so cool because it just completely eliminates the barriers. Like, there are people on this planet who before that you would just not be able to communicate with.
Right. Ever.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We just can't communicate. It's just like a wall. We're totally different. And now, like, literally in 2 seconds, I can communicate
other side of the world,
fluently.
Completely different language with different characters and everything.
Yeah. And that's for free also is amazing. And I love that. I get so happy when I get like comments from totally different languages because it's like, so cool. I know normally I would never be able to interact with this person, and now we can actually talk to each other.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
The opposite is when YouTubers are so affected by comments, they turn them all off. Personally, I feel if they don't want my participation, that I'm not going to participate in watching. That
is always a weird thing when people turn off comments. Like, you turn off comments and you've hidden your subscriber count. It's like, then
what are you here for?
There's something that's go on public access. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I really like this.
This is always how it is. I got a comment on my live stream just saying waste of time, no elaboration. So I asked if he was talking about the stream or the camera, and he responded with an essay of feedback. He had 0 subscribers.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
It's always like that.
I really like this profile picture, Jared and Rocky.
It bothers me when creators don't use mics at all, yet I don't want to be that guy and say anything.
You know what's really funny? I don't know if other teachers have encountered.
Also, how do you remember the year of the Motorola Razr? Because he has a very weird memory.
Yeah.
Teachers.
Oh, teachers, yeah. So teachers have this weird pride thing about their teacher voice. And really? I've seen this, it's almost universal. If you go to a training with teachers where there's a whole room or a gym or whatever, inevitably the trainer will say like, hey, can I get someone to help out? Here's the microphone. The teacher will always say, I don't need a mic, I'll use my teacher voice. Oh. And then they'll start yelling and people can't hear them. And then they're like, use the mic. And the person's like, no, you can hear me, right? And I'm like, just use the mic. We all know you can talk loudly over a group of people. That is your job. Just use the microphone. It happens. I mean, like, literally, I've probably spent hours of my life listening to this back and forth of like, I don't need the mic. I've got a teacher's voice. No, you should use the mic. Do I really need the mic? No, I don't. And I'm just like, use the microphone. Like, why are you doing this to us?
Christmas Clatter on the podcast is starting a comment of the week segment. We should do comment of the week on the couples table.
I would like to do positive ones though, or interesting ones, not necessarily positive, but like interesting ones or ones that I learned something about or whatever.
I mean, that's how it should be. Whatever you want.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be negative comment of the week.
Yeah. That should be pretty fun.
Oh boy. I saw someone leave a comment on a YouTube video about the video quality not being good. Turns out his video quality is set to 240p. He was saying you couldn't get a camera with all that YouTube money.
Yeah. It's so weird. That's funny. That's so funny because I did a live stream, my last live stream. I had multiple cameras set up. When I do my videos, now I have all Sony cameras. It's very easy to match them because they're all the same system. When I was using a Sony and a Canon, out of camera, they don't look the same. But in Final Cut, I can adjust them, add presets that I made to make them match pretty well. Not perfectly, but pretty well. No one ever complained. But I did a live stream where I someone asked a question. I quickly set up my Canon camera in addition to my Sony so I could switch back and forth. And then somebody was like, if you really cared about the quality of your videos, you would take the time to make sure your cameras actually match color. And it's like, did you not even see the part where it's a live stream and I literally set it up on the fly? Like, what are you?
That makes me. And then literally, my stomach is turning.
There's another thing. This might even be a topic for another day because I know we're sort of at the end of our time here.
Yeah, I also have a
workshop in
Just
27
Create
minutes.
More workshop.
Yeah. But here's the last thing, or at least one thing I'll bring up is I got this comment today because the microphone I talked about today is a $1,200 microphone. If you're just sitting there and someone says, spend $1,200 on something, probably you're going to say, that's a lot of money. I don't know about that. There are some people out there who wouldn't think twice about spending $1,200 or something. Mm-hmm. It also depends. If you use a microphone once a year, probably waste of money. If you use it all day, every day, could be a good investment. If you're a big budget Hollywood film, $1,200 is basically free. Like, who cares? Get 10 of them, like whatever. Yeah. So it's all about that context. But a thing that has popped up lately, and I'm going to do a whole podcast episode about this season. I already have it written down and outlined, is just for YouTube. And somebody told me, why are you recommending this microphone? It's such overkill just for a YouTube video. Ooh. And I'm like, and I hate that attitude because that comment bothers me, but I see that so much. We talked about the Gerald Undone video where he had everyone there. Die. So many people in the comment section to that video say, why does everyone have all this gear for just YouTube? It's just YouTube videos, just this.
Do you know how magical of a place YouTube is? It's your hobby. Who are you to criticize? Would you go up to a professional chef who's invested all this time, effort, studying culinary arts
and just be for one meal?
It's just for hamburger. What? Oh my God. Who are you to criticize someone's passion and how they want to, express themselves?
And to play devil's advocate, a lot of people who do YouTube stuff and have gear, they use it for other things. So if you want to play that game, they might be using it for client projects, whatever.
But even if you're not. If I want to use $100 nail polish, I'm going to use $100 nail polish. Even if it's just the polish is going to chip off in a day. Who cares? It's are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you?
You really went off on this one.
Because I hate it when you're... It is a rare thing for someone to be passionate about something, especially in adulthood, okay? For you to find something that lights you up to the point where you're willing to spend money on it, that is a special thing. That doesn't happen to a lot of people. And if this is the thing during this time, you have a hobby that lights you up, and I remember how excited I was when I bought my first, my Joby Gorilla Pod. I was like, this is going to allow me to do so many things. And you start getting creative and the gears start turning. And then someone over here is going to be like, where are you going to get that just for YouTube? Who cares what it's for? I'm having fun. I am having fun. Who are you? I'm never going to see you. Are you serious right now? Oh my God, I can't.
That's actually a better perspective. Because my perspective was
I can't.
It was it's 2022. YouTube is a multi-billion-dollar platform at this point. It pays our mortgage.
This is our full-time job.
Yeah, maybe it's worth the investment if I can invest in something that's going to sit.
Even if it's not your full-time job, who are you to criticize
do whatever you want to do.
hobby. Like, there are people there who literally, like, collect coins from ages ago.
Think of how much money a good set of golf clubs costs.
Are you seriously going to tell me, like, oh, it's just for YouTube? It's just for golf. Like, oh.
Yeah, and...
do whatever you want. I can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's why I literally said we could do a whole couples table on this idea. Because there's that part, there's the passion part of it, and then there's the, like... I know people remember YouTube as the cat video website from 2000. This is not a person. This is like...
You guys are sad people.
This is a recurring thing that I see.
You? See, and you know what? It's because you must not have any joy.
They're not people who make videos. I know they're never people who make videos.
Creative outlet in your life. Because why would you criticize someone's hobby? That's horrible. It's just, I can't.
Well, it's not even... Like, Marquez Brownlee, MKBHD, started using 8K cameras in 2017 or 2018. YouTube wasn't even uploading 8K footage. It wasn't even possible. Nobody was viewing 8K footage back then, and he was still doing it because he wanted to. It was like his goal to just like be at this insane level of ridiculousness. That's why he'll spend $250,000 on one robot arm that they use once a month, because like that's just, you could criticize that, but it's like that is the driving like passion behind what lets them do what they do.
This is the stuff that just breaks my heart. You shouldn't be on YouTube. Go away. If it's just for YouTube, why are you watching?
Well, that's always what people say is like it's.
Why are you watching YouTube if it's just for YouTube?
Well, I was listening to an interview yesterday where people were talking about film school, and they were like, yeah, in my whole 4 years at film school, never once did they said they had a whole multi-week class on setting up tripods, which, to be fair, I've done as a digital media teacher because it's very hard to teach people how to use tripods. But he said never once did they even talk about YouTube as an outlet. Meanwhile, half the videos they showed us during the classes were YouTube videos, but that didn't even like... It's this weird thing where people are like, I watched a blurry cat video on YouTube in 2005. That's what the website is for. Or something. I don't know. Anyway, I know you got your workshop coming up.
I can't.
Whew. I really liked your passion over there.
It's just a hamburger.
You should that should be a little
matter.
short.
That's my thing, though. Hamburgers do matter. Do you know what I mean? And for you to like, okay, let Drew from the Brew Log, right? Someone who is not familiar with beer is gonna taste any beer and be like, it's beer. It's probably gross.
This tastes like beer.
There are people who've been brewing beer for centuries, okay? This is a whole craft. There's a whole process.
Culture.
There's like different ways to flavor it. There are people have dedicated their lives, generations of families to brew the greatest brew in their opinion, okay? And for someone who has no idea to be like, yuck, it's just beer. It's like, you don't know. Like, and even if you, I don't know, it's like, if someone wants to like dedicate their thing, like have that be their thing, then who cares, right? And the same is with YouTube. Like, if someone wants to just set up a webcam, that's all you need. Use your phone. It's fine. Do whatever you want. But if someone also wants to swing in the other complete direction, which, I mean, you could look at Tom and I. Yeah. I don't hate it. I am not a gearhead. I'm not a gearhead. Yeah. Literally, I don't want to change anything. Tom is changing everything constantly, right? But I'm never going to be like, gosh, Tom. Yeah. Why? It's just for you too.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's the beer thing too, because I can show up and be like, I'm not that into beer.
Like, can't you appreciate
but that doesn't mean,
someone's
but it's like, I tell you that with coffee all the time because I don't drink coffee, and I'm like, I'm not a coffee person, but I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
I get why there are coffee people. It's just not me, but I understand and I get it.
Like you just must be such a sad person to not be happy about someone else's enthusiasm. Yeah. I don't care what you're enthusiastic about, but if you're like getting out over BTS or bikes or like
anything.
I think that's cool. Yeah. I hate bugs, but there are people who are all about them.
Well, I don't know what the thing is. So it's like you can only invest in something if it's hitting a certain monetary level. If you have a certain level, like at what point is it okay to make the investment? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I don't, who are you to say?
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
You did a very good rant. I love that.
We are coming back. Really? No.
Did you hear? Oh.
I have about 100 Hawaiian shirts in my closet, and many have criticized me for that.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I remember one day I wore a Hawaiian shirt to high school. And I say one day because, yeah, I got ripped to shreds, not literally, but like, I just thought it was really fun. I was super into Real Big Fish and ska music. I was like bright colored Hawaiian music. Yeah, it's really fun. And I was just like, I found this Hawaiian shirt at the thrift shop and I was like, this is super cool. And I wore it. I just was like, well, I'm never going to do that again because yikes.
Dude, I so used to do this. I used to have my meetings at McDonald's so I could write off my McDonald's. We haven't been to McDonald's since we became vegetarian, but they're supposed to be coming out with a plant-based burger soon, so.
The McPlant.
Let's see. I'm 6 feet, 150 pounds.
For Nick, comments, ignorance is bliss. Few comments are fun.
Yeah, but after that, I've just found that all the feedback wasn't adding value to my life somehow.
Yeah. Well, what I have found too is like I feel like my channel's right on the cusp of like not being able to read them all. And
there are billionaires that collect entries and comments. Their hobby, your loss. Sorry, go ahead.
But there are times where it's like, especially on those days where you just get tons and tons of comments, where I kind of feel like I actually like I need to not be doing this so that I can keep doing like making a video or working on like doing the thing that even brought the comments in the first place. Like at a certain point you just
right, exactly.
You can't. I'm not there. I'm not at that point. But at a certain point I know it hits where you can't. You need to do what Nick does. Your video comes out. I'm going to set aside 20 minutes, blast through comments, and then I'm out.
If it's a fine line, because if the thing that you got into YouTube in the first place that like brought you joy and you were super excited about it ends up turning into a thing that, you know, makes you feel negative, then now you're risking that passion, right? And that's horrible. And you have to be in control of that. Like you have to know your boundaries and and set them. Like the only person who could do that is you.
Leo's here. I was telling Heather, because you did a Twitter post where you were like, this is how I do my B-roll or whatever. And it was like a behind the scenes.
Literally, Leo, I almost went on Twitter to like reply to this. Tom told me this.
Somebody's comment was like, step 1, have money. And you were like, step 0.5, work for 5 years to get to a point with your skill set that you can use your equipment to like earn money to buy new equipment.
Also,
I was like, yes.
He's 14.
Leo's 16.
He's 16. Are you kidding me? Like, who cares?
I was just like...
Who cares? Like, this is a young person who is doing something that they're excited about and, like, has obviously, like... Regardless of the equipment, you can tell there is an expertise there. Like, there's an experience.
You could put that same equipment in someone else's hands and it's not going to do the same
And are you seriously going to just diminish and like... devalue it to I just can't. I can't. And and he's 16. You're 16, Leo. For this grown ass man to be like, I'm like, oh my god, I can't. Sorry.
The Hawaiian
now I'm getting like mad. I have a workshop to teach in 15 minutes.
Well, you know what? Drew's more pumped for his channel than ever now because of you. Bailey says we need part 2 of this episode. So actually next week I don't know if we can have an episode because I'm not going to be in town.
He's not going to be in town.
So possibly we could do an early one like on Tuesday. I don't know though. I don't know what my Tuesday looks like next week.
We could do one on Tuesday.
Possibly. So we'll schedule it in advance. If we're not going to have a Thursday one.
Yeah,
we're definitely
not going to have a Thursday one.
If we decide to move it up, we'll schedule it in advance. So hit that bell notification to get notified of stuff. And then we don't want to make any promises now because I don't even know what my schedule is next week. But
but we're definitely not going to do it on Thursday. And I wouldn't want to do it without you.
Yeah, so
I would just be
couples
sitting here,
table, the singles table.
No.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
anyway,
be me, Ben, and Finley.
Heather's got a cool workshop in the Just Create More community that's happening right now, so it's time to clear this table so she can go over to that
15 minutes,
table.
yeah. So if you want to join us, we're going to be talking about Ecamm Live, setting up your Ecamm to do interviews. Really, it's just setting up Ecamm. So if you've been putting that off, join us, and we'll do it all from scratch.
Yeah. So thanks for being here. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your empathy, your insights, your comments, all those things. Hope you have a safe, happy, healthy, fun rest of your week.
Take care, everybody.
We will see you next time.
Bye.